Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Mr. Josh bringing you the News to You article for June of 2020. We are getting into the time of summer, so News to You will only be sending out major articles every month. This month is all about ocean cleanup. And this is kind of special because it brings back someone. If you have been following News to You for several years, they have talked about this man, Boyan Slat. They have talked about him a couple of different times, and I have tried to stay up on his research and what he has been doing with some of the things, some of the innovations he's using to help clean up both our oceans and now even our rivers. June 8th is World Oceans Day. People celebrate helping oceans on this day. The world's oceans are full of trash, which is a big problem. The trash in oceans swirls together in huge areas called garbage patches. The trash hurts plants and animals that live in the oceans. Some animals eat the trash and become sick. An inventor from the Netherlands wants to clean up oceans. This inventor is 25-year-old Boyan Slat. Boyan first learned about the problem of trash in oceans in 2011 when he was 16 years old. He started thinking about how to solve the problem. So he knew that there was a problem with all this trash in the oceans. And what happens is because of the big ocean currents, a lot of this trash gets pushed together in huge areas in the middle of oceans. And because he knew this, he was trying to find a way to kind of clean up some of these areas that are called garbage patches. And as a 16 and 17-year-old, someone that is just getting out of high school, that was his goal, trying to invent something, not necessarily for money, but for the betterment of the world. So here is an invention that was made by the Ocean Cleanup Company. This is the company that Boyan started. This invention has been deployed in the ocean through many different changes over the course of a couple of years. They have been able to get it to where it actually works. It does collect the plastics that are floating in the ocean in some of these large garbage patches. Boyan had an idea for an invention to collect and remove trash from oceans, but Boyan needed help from others. In 2013, Boyan started a group to help clean up oceans. This group is called the Ocean Cleanup. The Ocean Cleanup studies the problem of trash in oceans. They make inventions to clean up oceans. Most of the trash in oceans include plastic items, such as old water bottles, grocery bags, toothbrushes, and straws. The Ocean Cleanup wants to recycle the plastic to make new things. They want to sell the new things and use the money to help clean up more oceans. So they needed money to start the research and design process to help clean up oceans. Governments were not taking the steps to try to clean up the ocean, because the government, and this is the case for most governments, they think in terms of their land. No one necessarily owns the ocean, and therefore it is hard to get any government to provide money or research on how to clean up the ocean. Boyan needed some money, so he started a company. He raised funds, which is how companies go about trying to get money. He did his research. He created inventions. He set out his inventions in the oceans. His inventions did not work at first. He brought them back, did more research, fixed some things, and now he is able to collect plastics in the ocean. He brings that plastic back. He separates or sorts it into the different types of plastics, and then he creates new things from this plastic that he is collecting from the ocean. He will then sell these things on his website, and all that money that he gets from these things that he sells goes back into creating more inventions or purchasing more equipment to help clean up the oceans and various other things. So here's a picture of a new machine Boyan has been working on. This is called the Interceptor. This is different than what he had been working on previously in the ocean. Most trash in oceans come from rivers that flow into the oceans. In October 2019, the Ocean Cleanup announced they had made a new invention to collect and remove the trash from these rivers. This invention is called the Interceptor. The Interceptor looks like a boat. It floats on a river, but it is anchored to the riverbed, so it does not float away. The Interceptor is 100% solar powered, meaning it uses energy from the sun to work. The Interceptor can collect more than 110,000 pounds of trash from a river every day. This is equal to about 1 million plastic bottles. So when we think of 110,000 pounds of trash, that is a lot of trash that is just floating in rivers. An elephant may weigh 12,000 pounds. So we're talking about 100 elephants worth of plastic that is floating in the river that his invention can collect every single day. Now, this plastic flows into the oceans. Rivers flow into oceans. And then once it gets into the ocean, the currents steer the plastic into these big garbage patches. So why not try to figure out how to keep the plastics from coming into the ocean? You want to clean up the ocean? He decided to start with where the plastic was coming from, the rivers. So here is the Interceptor collecting trash. You can see all that garbage going up this little conveyor belt. The Interceptor has a large conveyor belt that scoops trash out of a river. The trash goes up the conveyor belt and into a basket. When the basket is full, it dumps the trash into one of 6 dumpsters inside the Interceptor. The Interceptor has a computer that is connected to the internet. When all 6 dumpsters are full, the Interceptor's computer sends a message to workers on land. The workers empty the dumpsters and sort the trash. They return the dumpsters to the Interceptor so it can collect more trash. So that's kind of interesting. The plastic goes into, kind of gets captured and goes into the conveyor belt, up the conveyor belt, into a basket. Basket dumps it into one of 6 dumpsters. Once all the dumpsters are full, an internet signal or a message is sent out by the boat to workers on land to come unload the dumpsters. You don't need someone to sit on that boat full time. It works by itself. So here is the Interceptor in Indonesia, which is in the South Pacific. Interceptors are in 4 rivers now. These rivers are in Indonesia, Malaysia, Vietnam, and the Dominican Republic. The ocean cleanup has a big goal. During the next 5 years, they want to put interceptors into 1,000 rivers around the world. The ocean cleanup studied the problem of trash in oceans and learned that 80% of the trash comes from these 1,000 rivers. The ocean cleanup wants interceptors to collect the trash in each of these rivers. They want to stop the trash from flowing into the oceans. Then people can celebrate cleaner oceans. That is a very big goal. He has interceptors in 4 rivers now. He would like to extend that to 1,000 rivers around the world in 5 years. That is a lot of work. So Boyan and his research team did different studies and found that the trash in the ocean, a lot of it comes from these rivers. And so he decided that let's clean up those rivers before that trash even makes it to the ocean. So Boyan is one of those men who, at age 17, decided that he needed to develop an invention that would clean up the ocean. And now that he is a few years older, he is steadily figuring out the best way to do that. Oftentimes, when you are inventing, you have to come up with multiple different things before something truly works. Maybe his ocean cleanup project, where he was cleaning up the garbage patch in the Pacific Ocean, was a little bit too difficult right now with the technology that we have. I know his boats were having problems kind of staying in where they need to be in the ocean. The ocean is a large place. It is hard to get out to these locations. So he figured, hey, the trash has to come from somewhere. Let's research that. Where's this trash coming from? And they found that the trash is coming from these rivers. Now, rivers are not nearly as big as an ocean. They are much smaller. They are located right next to land. And they are able to get to these locations a lot easier. So their equipment, their technology does not have to be as advanced to help clean up these rivers. And that is all about research, science, and invention. I hope you enjoyed listening to Boyan and what he has been able to accomplish. I will try to find his old article because I do remember discussing that a couple of different times. I believe I had pulled it up when he was able to make the first successful cleanup in one of the garbage patches. And now my screen's going dark. So this is Mr. Josh. My computer is telling me it is almost out of power. So I gotta go. I hope you have a super day, and I look forward to talking to you again. Bye for now.